to become, to study literature. So mine was going to be the one who wrote all the things that were in my head.
Why do people use pen names?
Sometimes they use
a number of writers like that, I mean, all over the world, who use pen names. Why? What's the idea behind?
Sometimes they use it to hide their real identity, and some, like me, just want to separate their writing persona from their real persona. It's yes. In the earlier days, some women used pen names that sounded like male names because female novelists didn't do so well because men didn't want to read them. And if they were writing literary fiction, they wanted to be accepted by everybody. So they would change their name to a pen name that sounded like a man's name. Like George Eliot, for example, is a female. Yes.
Okay. Tell us a bit about Creative Studios.
It's very simple. We try to create a platform where we bring together aspiring authors and published authors. So when they interact, we hope that through that interaction, something and a kind of energy will be created, and aspiring writers will learn from the published authors. So that's basically what it's all about.
What kind of responses do you get? Are Nigerians interested in fiction works? Do fiction works sell in Nigeria?
Absolutely. When we started Writers Studio, we weren't sure what the responses were going to be. It was a leap of faith. Because we had no precedence. No one had done something like that before. But when we started, we were amazed by how much enthusiasm people have.
People actually showed up.
Yeah, exactly.
You put out an advertisement, let's do a workshop on creative writing.
Wow.
And people showed up in Nigeria.
Exactly. I can remember the day of the workshop. People were practically shoving money at us. They wanted to learn. They wanted to write. We have a lot of people who are passionate about writing, who just want to. Writing is a way by which we express ourselves. It's a mode of expression. So I think it's one of those avenues that people really want to explore. You know, many of the people, students, the people who have attended our workshops, don't really want to write for a living, but they just want to be able to express, themselves in a better way.
Very interesting, because the impression is that Nigerians are not really keen on books, reading, particularly when it comes to fiction works. Did you experience those high turnouts in Lagos and Abuja alone, or that cut across some other cities in Nigeria?
Yeah, it did. Even in Ibadan, where I live, people usually think that Ibadan is dry and all that, but the highest turnout was from Ibadan. And it was really amazing that you have people who are just, it was as if they were actually waiting for such a platform to be created. And let me just say this, that there's a whole lot happening in the literary industry in Nigeria right now and in Africa. Writers, talented writers, authors are springing up all over the place, and the literature and writing is not what it used to be now. There's a whole lot happening. We now have prizes springing up. We now have people who are really going beyond the shores of this country, taking their writing, beyond the shores of the country and all that. So a lot is really happening. All we need to do now is to create structures in place to support our writers. We still have a lot to do in terms of publishing industry and some other aspects, But really, something is happening. There's a silent revolution.
Niger Stories, if I'm right.
Yes.
So you should have and that blog is focused on encouraging new fiction writers.
Yes.
So you must have a feel of what we're talking about. What do you feel? What have you experienced? What have you observed?
There are definitely a lot of young people who want to write, and even more than that, those who want to read. Niger Story started in 2010 with just about 10 members, including myself. And within 1 year, we had grown to over 1,000 members. Right now, we have going on 5,000 registered members.
5,000
registered members. Up to half of these people are writers on the site. They have either 1 or 2 fiction pieces on the site, and there are a few, about 20 to 30, who actually run series. So they run like episodic installments of their stories. One of them is so popular, she's in her 30th episode.
Wow.
And each episode receives over 1,000 views on the day that she publishes it.
Wow.
And then consistently, so people write to her asking her when is the next episode coming up, and she writes it, and they discuss it, and it's really amazing. And so it's shown me that in as much as people say Nigerians don't read, Nigerians actually read. They just need the right material that will get them excited, something they can talk about and enjoy, something they can just feel free to read, not something too difficult, but something that is relatable to them as just ordinary Nigerians.
Nigerians responded to fiction writing because of this. I mean, it's small size, it's something you can read very quickly.
Yes.
Has it helped?
It's definitely helped. One reason also why we put it in small sizes is to keep costs down, because that, I've realized, was one of the limitations to people reading. When my books came out, I brought some to Nigeria. They were published in the US. I brought some to Nigeria, and the cost of publishing and bringing them to Nigeria brought the cost to almost 2,000 naira. And I realized that some people would write to me and say, I would love to read your books, but they're so expensive. And we could only sell in bookshops, maybe 4 or 5 bookshops in Lagos. But with these sizes, and at the cost we're producing these sizes, it makes it easier for readers to get into, because it's very small. They can put it in their pockets. They don't have to carry a bag. They don't have to carry a very big book. And it's very affordable. So we call it pocket size, pocket friendly. And the stories are even more interesting. Apart from the size being small and the price being good, the stories inside are they're short stories. So you don't even have to read the whole book at the same time. Okay. So you can just open it up, select one story, read it in 15 to 30 minutes, and keep it until you have time to read again. I've realized that one reason why some Nigerians are skeptical about reading is that they also don't have time. So money is one aspect, time is another. Nigerians are very busy people. They're hardworking, hustling, and so they don't have that much free time, like 3 hours at a stretch to read. But they can read these ones, we call them the short read series, and they can read them, in 30 minutes, and they can read another time, maybe when they're stuck in traffic, they can pick up and read one other story or two, that kind of thing.
Why would you pick romance? Do Nigerians enjoy romance stories?
I think they do. Things have changed a bit now. When I was growing up in the 80s, one of the first few books I read was Rich Girl, Poor Boy, Ebu My Love, Second Chance. These were books by Nigerian writers. And this was even before I started reading Mills and Boone, which are romance novels by foreign authors. These 3 books, some were under the Pt.2 series. They were very, very popular. People my age then, 10 to 15, teenagers, we loved them and we devoured them. We talked about Second Chance. It was like this massive phenomenon. Second Chance. It was about a couple that had broken up. They had twins and then they later got back together. So that was when my dream to write romance started. And I think I like writing romance because I feel that human beings, one of the things that we desire is companionship. And I've also realized from experience since I've grown up that if you make a mistake when it comes to the person you decide to spend the rest of your life with, it's going to affect you in a very big way, more than most things will affect you. The
So
relationship
it's
is very important.